he's making a serious amount of ghosts. He is not messing around. All right, well, the ghosts adding in what they can here, and
I think he's
holy
oh my god,
crap.
Seeker missile much.
What am I even watching here? There is
Does
just
he still
carnage
win
in the
this?
skies.
Is this because of air upgrades? There's actually been so many things that have happened.
Yeah, I
and
haven't
so many
even paid
points to talk. I
attention to
haven't even paid
upgrades.
attention. Yeah, well, it looks like he lands the Vikings and loses the ground fight. I think Maro might be beginning to take this game. That must be upgrades? I know that we saw...
No, I think it was the Widow Mines. Like 4 of them got through.
Was it? Okay.
I think so. And the thing is, when you do a Seeker Missile, that can hurt your stuff as well.
I might have to rewatch the bot after this.
No,
that was like really confusing.
That battle was really
we just never had a fight like that. So normally when you watch enough StarCraft, you kind of just know the way games are going to go when you see the fight start. But never cast anything like this. The weirdest unit comp in TVT.
Yeah, this is like This is
By
so
the way, guys, the only reason why
God.
this is working, like you could not just like start up a game and start making Widow Mines and tanks. You had to get to the point where the unit techs got so complicated.
Yeah. By the way, look at this. 2 command centers landed next to each other. Bringing his full artillery to push Reality out of this gold base.
By the way, worker count, it's Reality that's very low. It's 35 to 59, and that's because Reality actually gave away a lot of his workers so he could get a bigger army.
He also lost those bottom 2 right bases a couple times.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
I mean, his economy's still okay. He's still making a lot of units. But, like, he is obviously very far behind. Maru kept together most of his high tech.
Yeah.
Whereas Reality right now is just having to pump the lower tech units. So we'll see what he can actually get done with that. Like, he can't even make medevacs, by the way, guys. There's just too much air.
Okay, he's once again going to push in. Now, the weird thing is that I feel like Reality's kind of painted himself into a corner because, I mean, the Ravens are great, but guess what? You know, you have these units like Widow Mines and just a few tanks on the ground. They do push through. Auto turrets aren't that good. And I think, now I love the Liberator combo here, too. I think that's GG, bro.
I think you're right about that, Tasis.
Broham, I think this is the end.
Okay, well, hold on. We have Reality coming out with his full army now. And, I mean, he kills off the siege tanks. He kills a decent amount of the air units. And, in fact, he might be able to... No, looks like there's enough defense right there. Maru going to be able to hold on for the time being.
What a weird game. Now note that, you know, they haven't been relying on drops as much. It's just kind of this power push. It's this game of tug and war. Reality is barely able to get the rope back into his grasp here before Maru just closes it out. But I feel like Maru has actually successfully forced Reality to dip his toes back into bio, and then he just pushes through here with a stronger mech army.
You know, I just keep thinking about the ghosts, like,
yeah,
maybe the EMP was to prevent Ravens, or maybe just the range of them.
Then I don't think he would have made so many. I know I said that initially, but then I thought he actually had too many for that to be like viable. You only need like 4 or something.
They have good range too, though. They do a lot against light. Like maybe this was a counter to Widow Mines. I don't know. It's definitely a different thing that we're seeing from Reality.
We've got Maru chewing through the bottom right again, and Reality is actually doing a pretty good job dropping everywhere. However, the upper left is almost mined out, and this may be a reversal of the kind of expanding too much conundrum. We're eventually going to have a term for this because this is actually a concept that's pretty difficult to explain, but when one player mines out the map first and then ends up using up too many of his minerals, trying to do damage, the guy that was behind the whole time ends up ahead because he still has more bases. And Reality has not been able to mine from the bottom right successfully, but Reality's still in the game. Are we going to have a battlecruiser? I thought that was only... in the single player Artosis. Are we going to have the Hyperion in here?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Kind of interesting, but, you know, I don't think he has enough to really make a difference with this.
I think you're correct.
Wow. What a crazy game that we've watched here,
okay,
guys.
so once again, Maru stamps out the harass here. Now, the thing is, Reality is able to hang on. I just don't know if he has an endgame plan. He's kind of running around taking out these different bases. Now, he should pick up here. He may opt to run away. Oh, good scan.
And, you know, he's trying to just use mobility against Maru right now, but unable to really do anything. This army is coming for him, and that's that. Like, see the medevacs, of course, they can't stay alive. Making them at all is, well, you're making bio, so you need them, but the anti-air is too much. Look at this. He's being pretty efficient running away, but eventually the map ends. If this map was forever, maybe this comp could do it.
If he could run away onto another map or another planet, maybe, but this is it. Okay. There's a nuke here. I don't know if that's anything to be excited about, though.
There's a ghost.
So, this one, Liberators,
Well,
leave me. I've had my time.
Man.
Okay, nukes going off. This is the end, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Maro does not have a lot of money and does not have a lot of mining bases, but I just think that this army is too much.
Yeah.
And there it is. GG. Wow, that was a cool game.
Wild game.
That was a very special game.
Yeah, it's
I'm
one
really,
that you are
I'm
not
really
gonna see
happy
very
I was
often.
able to cast that game because that was just so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, just very, very interesting the way that they both went about playing that. I think that this really shows as well how good Reality really is. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like what he didn't end up finishing the game and winning the game. That one battle, I need to go back and watch on slow
I
and
was
see where
confused
every
about
hit
that.
goes. Like Maro must have dragged some of the seeker missiles into his army, and maybe a couple Widow Mines went off.
I'm not sure because I actually thought Reality wins the air fight no matter what.
I
saw
thought
a
so
bunch of big
too.
explosions on the Vikings, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's still like double the amount of Vikings there for Maro. So
Maybe his Liberators were actually connecting with the pumped Vikings and dealing splash or something.
maybe. I don't know.
You know, the more I
Anyways.
think about the Ghost, by the way, I think it was just like utilizing the burst light damage, right? And
Is that the
I
unit
don't-
you want then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, it's got good range and it moves very fast.
We
Like,
aren't normally this
very-
baffled by a game, but
I just haven't ever really seen that.
I believe TBT is the matchup we've casted the least in 2016, by the way.
Is it? Might
I
be.
think so, yeah. So this is a nice way to end Code A. Anyways, guys, game number 2 is on Orbital Shipyard. Let's see what happens in our next game of Reality versus Maro. In the bottom left in the blue, he is.
삼성 갤럭시 리얼리티.
Playing a really good game against
Yeah,
Maro there.
I
Does
mean-
lose it, but really good game.
Yeah, that was a treat. Definitely the best game we've had so far tonight. In the upper right, in the red, he is.
지네어 그린윙스 마루.
By the way, if there was another map we could see a game like that, it would be this one.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit less likely because I think Bio is a little bit stronger on this map. But you're right. It's possible because there's a backdoor base. Third base is a little bit more exposed, but I don't think you break that with Bio versus Mech. I think a Mech player can hold that.
Yeah.
But I do believe that in late game, I think there's a bigger edge for Bio.
Yeah, definitely than the last map for sure. There's like so many more routes and whatnot.
Also, you got to keep in mind that a Bio player doesn't have to rely on medevac dropping as much on this map. He can actually just send units out on various patrols and hit locations.
yeah, there's
Whereas in the other
Yeah.
map, the mech guy keeps making Vikings. So if the other guy tries to drop and screws up, he loses the medevacs as they try to pass the gap that's in the top center and the bottom center on the previous map. I mean,
got to mind the gap.
mind the gap. That's right. So we got a Reaper build here for Reality. Everything is pretty standard right now for Maro as well. Factory is on the way, about 2/3 done.
No, one base tech coming out of Maro here. So far, at least. Looks like he will take his command center before going into his starport. So Maro probably going to want to get harassment done a little bit quicker. On that starport. All right, so anyways, early game TVT, blah, blah, blah. We'll watch it. Great night of Code A, by the way. Really fantastic night.
I'm really happy we're ending it with a couple really great close games. You know, a lot of the Code A matches were much closer than expected.
They were. We're still in that, because we reset all the seeds going into Legacy of the Void. It just kind of seems like the right thing to do. We've had like more of the Code S players actually hitting each other both seasons than normally. Normally we get like basically the Code S guys, and they normally kill the guys that come up into Code A, you know? But
Yeah.
like for instance, you know, you could consider both these guys Code S. Like obviously Maro, this guy's like championship caliber, but Reality is one of these very top end guys right now. Definitely like one of the linchpins on his
Now
team.
here's where you want to. Yeah, that's how you do it. I'm actually really glad we got to see that.
Yeah.
So did you see, guys, how he ran away? He doesn't want the Marines to fire until the Reaper jumps up.
And then it's too late.
And then it's too late and the Reaper's dead. And then it's too late.
Reaper's like, it's never too late. No, it is too late.
It is too late.
And you'll never leave here alive.
See you in hell, Reaper. Takes him out. No, but that was actually a great little play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why
every little tiny thing.
Yeah, that's why he's such a good player.
StarCraft is such a battle of little things like this as well. Like, it's very good that there's not a Reaper out anymore as far as, you know.
This is something we can really celebrate about with StarCraft is the number of subtle things that you can do to get ahead. I think on a surface level, it looks like it's just a game where you're grabbing minerals and making stuff. And then there's a fight in the middle, but there's a ton of little tactical things. Ooh, good catch here. And it looks like Maro's going to commit. Maro's going to commit. Come in here. I can't believe he's actually going to get the full unload, though.
That is a huge deal to get that full unload. And look, he wants to kill that medevac so badly. He walks on to the wrong thing here. Widowmine does get a kill.
Okay, well, that actually was a huge success by Maro. 6 SCV kills.
Yeah, and he got a couple of units too, I think. But in the meantime, he's still working on it. Okay, I mean, that was fine. And let's not forget, he does have Cloaked Banshees on the way, which, by the way, Maru...
Oh, nice. Hold up. Is he going to get over there? Ooh. Where did I go? Yeah.
Very nice.
Nicely done.
And now he's got to scan or bring a Hellion up or something. But Cloaked Banshees are on the way for Maru. And let's not forget that Maru is one of these players that oftentimes will non-stop send Cloaked Banshees, like one at a time, and do damage consistently with them.
Yeah, like, it's kind of funny. Seems like with Maru, he can kind of play his own way, you know? I would normally not say Banshees would work, especially if you see a Raven, but it might anyways. We actually had this. This is like it was one of the later things figured out in StarCraft, but since people always expect a Banshee to be immediate, if they don't see it right away, they don't defend against it.
Yeah.
So when you do a drop and then a Banshee, sometimes the Banshee gets more kills than it would have if you just went directly for it.
Yeah, and
I'm under the impression a lot of people have not tried this, and they might be confused, like, why would you get it then? But it's because, I mean, think about it. Like, you know, it's one of the reasons why, you know, people sometimes have a hard time against DTs later.
Yeah.
They didn't rush for DTs, they just got it later
that.
on, and you're like, oh my god, DTs.
There's a certain period in the game where if you're not prepared, a Banshee or a DT or something like that will just kill you.
Yeah.
We're beyond that point, so people don't think about it as much.
Yeah, that's true.
And so here the Banshee is, and look, that other one got 5 kills on SCVs, right? And now he's just picked off a bunch of Marines with this one. So far, these are quality Banshees.
Okay,
Quality Banshees.
Quality Banshees,
I'm like
guys.
High-end used Banshee dealer over here. I'm like, you want cloak or no cloak? Look, we can go either way. You're like, well, I want no cloak. I'm like, okay, listen, we only have cloaked Banshees on the yard. You're going to have to pay the extra money.
That's pretty funny. Well, the Banshees are getting away now. Behind all this, we have Reality. He's about to finish up Stim. Stim a little bit later here from Maru. That's because Maru did go for that, the Banshee harass. But you know, he's killed off a good number of workers, although they're both even right now, 50 to 49. So a bit inconsequential.
Yeah, and
there's really nobody who's clearly in the lead here. They're both handling what they're doing very well.
Yeah, I would say that
defense and offense.
I would say that I like Maru's position just tiny bit better,
more.
but it's, as you said, you know, it's like no point to really even call who's ahead at this point.
Now, because Maru was skipping medevacs besides that one that was killed in the drop, this allows Reality to start pushing out and trying to hit with his medevacs and tanks, the combination. However, he's got to be careful because Maru is making a lot of Vikings, and if you don't maneuver just correctly, because the Vikings have such range and they shoot fast enough, you can just end up losing the medevacs with the tanks.
Yeah.
So let's see how, you know, ready and aware Reality is as the game moves forward.
Well, he does have to move back, and Maru has been known since much earlier than anyone else in Legacy of the Void for just making a lot of Vikings early on to prevent this tank evac harassment. So he's not taking any harassment right now. Everything's going pretty well for him. His upgrades are finishing up. That armory is finishing as well. So just trying to, you know, keep a little tiny edge here.
Now, one thing to keep in mind is, actually, I want to talk about something just very briefly here, because TVT has always been one of my favorite matchups. And one of the reasons why is there's so many different ways that people can play it. I think typically we expect it to be tanks and Marines stemming and running into each other and hitting at different angles, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
It does not have to be. And even on the early days of StarCraft, it was like one of the hardest matchups for players to figure out when we were all still learning RTS games about, you know, like 15 years ago. was that it was just, it's like, well, it seems like all the rules are bendable in this matchup for the most part.
There's a lot of things you got to master in TVT, and like there's so many different takes on it. Like you can just turtle up. One of the best TVTs that we've seen this year, Reality versus Ryung, these two just sat in their bases on Dusk Tower. They weren't even trying to hurt each other, and it was like that's a pretty valid way to play. And right now, Maru is just kind of sitting there, right? He's turtled up.
Yeah.
He's just kind of playing the defense game, getting all the little pieces to the puzzle that he wants. Sensor Tower is going up on both sides here.
Yeah, they both finished about the exact same time, actually. So Maru is just peeking around the corners here. He's really trying to check for any kind of drops or anything. And look, he's actually going to probably catch this. Oh no, he's not.
I like that. That's kind of cute.
Well,
That's
see what's so smart about it is that the Cyclone loses a lot of utility later.
Yeah.
So why not put it out there? If it dies, so what? But if it catches a medevac, great.
Yeah, when he takes his 4th base, that's probably the route that we'll see medevacs go down. You know, because there's going to be more army presence on the right side of the map, so you're going to like right align your medevacs at that point.
And now continuing to take out the remaining units. You can see Maru just kept the Cyclone with his rest of his army. They're both moving out. They may end up moving past each other. But a scan here from Reality is going to tell Maru, or it's going to tell Reality, exactly where Maru's army is.
And he sees that there is a 4th base on the way here for Maru. So Maru is actually staking himself in the sand. This is the less common 4th. But if you're attacking nonstop, this is the better one to take because you're defending it at the same time.
Scan here. As it looks like Maru kind of hungry to push in. I got to say, most Terran players would pull back after they've been scanned like this, but Maru's kind of crazy. Oh my God, he's just going to do it.
Oh my God,
here we go.
Is this going to end up working out? I'm not so sure. He does land those tank attacks.
It's going to work, look.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's just that good.
Pummels through.
He's just like, I know this exactly. Look at that. Wow. Well, I think we might have game in a second here. 170 to 123. Yeah.
He lands his tank backs here. He's going to be able to blow up these Marines really quickly.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to gun down the medevacs, and he can land the Vikings if he wants to on the tanks, or not. I mean, I think that was a little bit sloppier by Maru. I think Maru thought he had the game, which I think he kind of did, but he shouldn't have rolled his tanks over there. He should have dropped them.
Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy, but killing off every medevac and every Viking your opponent has, he has such air dominance. He has more medevacs. He has more mobility because of this, and there's nothing Reality can do against this. Maru even has his 4th base about to finish.
Okay, here we go. The scan comes down here. He's going to take out these tanks. He's going to keep edging in here.
Yeah, this is Reality doesn't have a lot of options. He just doesn't have the air units, and look at that, just non-stop pushing.
This is game.
Yeah,
Maru, when he plays by standard TVT, you can see the difference in ability. You really can.
I don't think you should ever go Marine tank probably against Maru unless you're TY, man. He's just he's so strong.
Well, it's funny because they were nearly even in supply, and then Maru just bashes them. He just knows how to drop the tanks and stim and hit at the right time.
Yeah, well, his bio, he's like Rain Man with bio. He just knows exactly what he's capable of. No one has killed more Colossi with bio. No one has killed more siege tanks with bio.
GG.
It's crazy.
Maru takes game number 2. He's 1 win away from going on to that coveted Code S spot.
Yeah, he really wants it this season after getting 3-0'd by Zest in last Code A and still being one of the best players in the world. He knows he needs it here.
Man.
Really good series, even though, Maru's having kind of a... Reality's having kind of a hard time in that second game. First game really close, really good.
I gotta say, I don't know if Reality's gonna take a game, Artosis.
Yeah.
I thought this might go to 5 games after game 1. I thought Reality did a really good job.
Yeah.
But now that we see that Maru's shifted gears back into normal play, and especially after smashing Reality's face in that last game, I don't think there's any need for Maru to do anything different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, totally. It's
I
really...
mean, this is, why would you not just play like that as Maru? Reality scanned 3 times, saw the position of the army, and Maru's
couldn't stop it.
Maru's like, move, nerd, get out the way. We are now going into game number 3. Reality is on life support. He needs to have a 3-game streak against one of the greatest Terrans of all time, Maru, in our final best of 5 in our last day of the GSL Code A. In the upper right, in the blue.
삼성 갤럭시 리얼리티.
In the bottom right, in the red, he is.
진에어 그린윙스 마루.
Wondering if Reality should just do some kind of like proxy or something.
Is that going to work?
I mean, I
Like-
don't think a normal game will, so I think it's time to start playing a pretty weird one.
I'd like to see him maybe go for something very technical mid-game.
Okay, yeah, I mean, anything like that I think is fine. I don't care when it happens, but I think it has to happen because I think if he just starts to make Marines and tanks or tries to fly a Banshee around,
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, you know when you play against somebody in StarCraft who's so good, it just feels like you never have enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Against a good Zerg, it's like you can't leave your base. Against a good Protoss, it's like you can't defend any of their attacks.
Yeah.
And against Terran, it's wherever you get in a fight, all your stuff dies and theirs is fine. You know what I'm saying?
I know all those
Yeah,
feelings.
all
very,
these
very well.
feelings, you've all had them. You know, I think that, you got to look at, especially a big fight. Normally a big fight is decided by, a stimming angle or the initial tank shots. But, I mean, a lot of these fights that Maro's been having, he just makes his units perform miracles.
Well, his micro is really second to none.
Yeah.
With, he's been known as
The
really
best
the best
Terrans-
Terran microer in
The
the
best
world.
Terrans have always had the scariest micro, I feel like. When you're just like,
Well,
damn.
the Terran units are inherently more microable. It's like
Yeah, well, they die faster, but they deal damage faster. That's the thing
Yeah.
about Terran. That's
So,
why sometimes you
yeah.
see a Terran player completely Hulk smash a player in a second, and other times they're caught out of position,
and they get
and all their stuff
slaughtered.
melts. Yeah.
Yeah, like the longer you keep a Terran unit alive, the more damage it's going to deal, and faster, as you said. That's like a really good way to
Well, with Zerg,
to describe it.
Zerg is like a lot about like you just kind of trade your armies in, but you have a more cost-effective fight.
Yeah. There's Terran, and don't forget as well, Terran is all ranged units. Like this is something, especially in StarCraft 1, that was like really important for people to understand. Where you can't just be a Protoss in attack move or a Zerg in attack move. It's like with Terran, everything has range. You have to kite all the time. You have to, micro your heart out.
You can get a lot of value out of micro units. Now, immediately, Maru has like a small squad of units on the low ground, and notice how he set up the angles. He's hoping that if he comes down the ramp, the arc is going to be perfect.
Yeah,
and he's
this is
actually
such a
timing
good
out
spread.
his grenades.
See, yeah, he's even dealing less damage to that to have that perfect arc. Notice that Reaper down the bottom. He has a Liberator on the way as well. Just now starting his command center.
You think? I actually don't think that Reality can get down there, man. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, he needs a few
I
more
think he
units.
actually can't get down. In fact, he's going to have to probably lift this. Now, if he comes down here, see that angle's too good. Get back up there, Reaper.
Yeah.
Now, if he comes down from the ramp, then he just moves us up, and it's going to be 2 timed out grenades. And
Yes.
Reality is going to...
The grenades are, and now 3 grenades.
3 grenades, yeah.
The grenades are what, that's a perfect analysis stage. Like the grenades are
Well,
what really
did he
is
do
scary.
it?
Look, there it is. There it is. All right. Those don't hit as well as he
Now,
wanted.
oddly, he didn't space out the grenades like I thought he was going to.
Oh, good grenades right there.
Yeah.
Hurt 3 Marines, rather. Liberator is on the way, let's not forget. There it is.
Okay. There was a Viking. There it is. I saw the shadow of it.
Okay, still could potentially get a little bit of damage done here.
Okay, I got to say, Reality handled that really well
He
considering.
did. He did.
I mean, that was like no joke. I mean, we could have had a GSL Code A player who would have not gotten down his ramp and had to lift that up. I'm dead serious.
True.
But Reality, I mean, he's good, man. We do not want to take anything away from Reality just because Maru's playing godlike.
Yeah.
But look at this. Now Reality can take control of his base. Maru's command center finishes at the same time. The attack was overall a success for Maru.
That's, yeah. And Reality, I mean, he should be feeling all right. But Maru with Banshees on the way,
Yeah.
it's not like the closest of spawn spots here, but, well, I mean, I guess it technically is the closest, but the map is long enough that the Banshees aren't going to just appear in his base. Ooh, he flew by one. Did he actually see that?
I would think so. We'll see.
Yeah,
though,
turret
when it
starts. It looks like he did see
Should
it.
know.
That's important. If he can completely shut down these Banshees, then suddenly things are looking pretty darn good.
And Maru isn't always going for Banshees, at least in the last 2 games. He was actually the guy who was trying to just deflect the Banshees and get to the later part of the game. And the Banshee's going to have to leave. I don't think he can actually do any more damage. Maybe shave off a Marine or something somewhere. But
I think that's about all he's looking for at this point.
Okay, drives away the Cyclone. Cyclones coming out on the middle of the map are becoming like really popular, and I really like it.
If you're really on top of like seeing stuff before, if your Cyclone is like out of range of things, it beats almost everything early game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Cyclone's just this unit that can actually kill anything early. So scary, but they don't have a ton of utility later on.
No, certainly they do not. Right now, we have third command centers coming up for both players. Only Reality has started his stim. This has kind of been the way Maru's been doing it anyways. We saw him with much later stim in the previous game as well.
Takes out the SCVs. Kind of gutsy play with the Banshee, but I guess he's fine with it. And he's actually going to be able, I believe, to get... No, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to be able to get out of that the scan circle, but it looks like there was no way. Missiles came out, and they're always going to connect even if it leaves the vision area. That's how it works.
Yeah. Maru.
We need to get to where the Banshees can blink, guys. What do you think? Hope Blizzard's watching. I think we need Banshees with blink, man. That would just be the best.
It's called the speed upgrade. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Speed Banshee's pretty darn fast.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
Reality. They brought that upgrade over from the Scout. Remember the Scout? The Scout actually could get a speed upgrade
really fast.
They get insanely fast, even though they were probably one of the least useful units and least used units.
They could have been the worst unit in the game, actually.
I
don't know, Ghosts were pretty awful.
Ghosts are better than Scouts, though, I think.
You might be right.
What is the worst unit in StarCraft 2, then?
The worst unit in StarCraft 2? The Thor right now, I would say.
Thor
seems pretty weak.
What about Battlecruiser?
Battlecruisers are great. It's just you never get to them because of the way the game flows, I think.
But I mean, the fact that you can never get to them ever.
Yeah.
When you ever get Battlecruisers?
They don't have a great spot. It would be like the game 1 that we saw. You could see Battlecruisers eventually.
That's always kind of been a thing in StarCraft where there's like one unit. It's like, well, it's not terrible, but it like doesn't really have a role here. It's usually replaced by some tier 1 unit where it's like, yeah, you could use that, or you could just make these instead. And you were already making these, so why not just keep making these?
Yeah.
Take off your fancy pants, put on some basic pro pants.
Oh, wait. Swarm Host. Swarm Host is pretty weak.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
that's a unit in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a unit in the game. I forget about that.
I forgot about that.
They're trying out buffs with it and stuff, so we'll see. And, Beal did have that one really cool game that he just didn't have banlings morphed and died, but, but I would definitely say it has to be the Swarm Host is the weakest right now.
We got Reality taking a later third base than Maru. Maru's still looking like he's in very good shape. I think a lot of this is going to come down to the engagement, though, with the tanks and the Marines and the medevacs.
Definitely agree with you on that.
We can kind of theorize all day, but as you guys saw in Game 2, I mean, Maru just, gets in that spot.
Yeah.
And then wrecks that nerd.
His macro really gets going, and right now it's starting to flow out. His stim in 1-1 and combat shields are all lined up.
It's just like he places and he stims and he attacks the right angle.
Well, that's true, but if you just watch, one of the fun things I like to do sometimes is just stare at the minerals of the two players, and you just see Maru's all jump down. Look at Maru's upgrades. Look how all 4 of them finish at the same time.
Yeah.
See that?
Isn't that sick?
Yeah. Look at this. It's crazy. Whereas Reality started his way earlier. He hasn't even started 2-2.
Yeah.
He's it's not that Reality is playing bad. It's just
Maru's so good.
Maru's okay, I have powered up a little bit better than Reality by getting all these upgrades later. And look at this. They were at the same supply when I started this tirade, and now Maru's up 11 supply. His macro is
he's just beastly.
He's so on point.
So the scan comes down.
If I was Reality, I'd be scared. I'm like, ooh, I hit one of his tanks with my tank. He's going to come get me. I don't want him to know where I am.
This is a bold spot here for Reality to hold. Okay, good pickup. Okay, don't do that, though. And now Maru gets to come in here and claim the territory. Now, it's going to be very important when Reality takes the 4th base. Actually, I should say if he can take a 4th base, because already Maru is now starting to suffocate him on the map.
Yeah, and he's
now, he might just push.
Supply now.
He might just push here. This might just be like the other game, where it's you want to say it's imbalanced, but it's literally a mirror matchup, guys.
Dude, do you see this?
Yeah, here we go again. See, look, he just engages this perfectly.
Yeah.
This is why he's so scary. Okay, Arctosis, I think the game's over. They were kind of even, and then Maru attacks and he stims and he spreads perfectly. Look at this.
The difference that I'm watching here is so insane because Maru, what he did was he delayed all of his upgrades, including stim, for a hell of a long time. Turtled up, so Reality's quicker upgrades did 0, then moved out because he powered a bit better, and now he's going for the throat. Yeah, Reality has a drop that killed Maru's 3rd, but Reality can't hold on to his base.
It's actually kind of crazy, man. He takes out these. I mean, that's it. There is a drop here, yes. I don't think this matters. I think that eventually the next wave comes out. It's going to park in the main. Meanwhile, we already have Maro in the main. And, I mean, this is going to be too tough. You can see there's already some Marines here. Oh, those are empty, actually, aren't they? Yeah, that's it. GG. Wow.
Maro's so good.
Okay,
it's stupid.
that's crazy how good Maro is.
Yeah, he's scary.
Wow.
He is scary. Like, that little bit of extra powering, up 10 supply,
dude,
up 15 BAM.
I would be
rail
so
right
discouraged
through.
if I was Reality right now. You know how much Reality plays and trains, but it's like Maro just actually has these engagements down so well. I wonder how he practices. I wonder if they just resume from replay all the time and he just like smashes his army into the other guys and just keeps figuring out and practicing.
No,
I mean, seriously, normally TDT, they're that even. You don't see the guy just be like, all right, 3 base was 3 base, now I kill you.
Maru, since he was a rookie, like a little kid playing back in GSTL and early GSL seasons, has always gone like really bio heavy, and he's done this for so long. Like, I think he just like feels engagements, but on top of that, like for instance, the way that he powered a little bit harder than Reality, it gave him a few more units, and he's better with bio. And it's like,
I mean, it's like
ridiculous.
I keep going back to this, but when you play somebody who's so good that like it doesn't matter what you do, can you imagine being that Terran player? You're macroing so well, nearly perfectly. You've trained for weeks for this moment.
Yeah.
And then this guy, 3 base versus 3 base, just comes in and breaks you.
yeah, he just
I'm wondering
shuts
if
you down.
on his
It's like,
team, Reality even has anybody that can do that to him.
no,
I mean,
of course not. He's the best TVT
How do you
player
even
I've seen.
how do you even practice against that? You're like, whoa, what is going on here?
Well, that's the thing.
That's-
the best players of every race you can't practice against. You
Because
can't
there's
do
only
it.
one guy you could practice for, and that would be that player.
Exactly.
And then after you practice against
Yeah.
them, they would know how you play, and they beat you.
There's no way to prep for Zest, TY, Maru, Dark. There's no way to prep for those 4 players.
Yeah.
Because no one can do what they do.
Maru like just bends space and time in some of these TVTs. It's crazy.
He's so good. He's a favorite
It's-
to win this.
Yeah,
Those 4
well,
players I just named,
I
like,
would
who
not.
knows?
After seeing that, I think out of all matchups that exist in StarCraft 2, Maru is the best TVTer, but his TVT is better than anybody else's TVZ, anybody else's PVT. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know
That
what you
is
mean.
the best I have seen anybody in StarCraft 2 in any matchup.
Look, I would give
He
all
is
my worldly
so
possessions.
perfect at that matchup.
I would give all my worldly possessions right now for a best of 7 between TY and Maru.
Ooh, that would be sick.
That would be so stupid.
That's our esports fan fiction
oh
finals.
my god. Well, I mean, let's not forget Zest PVT, okay?
Yeah.
And let's not forget that Dark
I
is a
think
Zerg that
Maru-
can beat Terran players sometimes.
I think, yeah, but I mean, just looking at how good that TVT is, that's insane, man.
Yeah, no, that was stupid
It's
how good
like
he was. Dude,
ridiculous.
can you name 4 Terrans better than Reality at TVT? It's like, okay, Maru and TY.
Maru and TY.
Like,
and
Ryung is arguable, but he just beat
no,
Ryung.
I think Reality's better than Ryung.
You're probably right.
Who else is there? Not
Dream
alive.
is
not alive. Alive's
Alive
good.
and Beyond are both very good TVTers.
Maybe
they're around there.
but
Maybe they're around there. But look, he's right up there. It doesn't matter, though, because, like, Maru is another level altogether.
kind of insane, man.
Crazy. What a night.
I think we're going to get some graphic thrown up here, I believe. Do we have some announcement we got to make? I think we're just going to be saying
we
when
have no
Code S
Code
is.
A to...
So Code A is done.
Yeah.
We're going to be going to Code S. That'll be
Have
2
they
weeks
released
from now.
the schedule yet? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because we've said it like 9 times tonight.
Yeah. It's going to start in
Sorry,
in
Mr.
2 weeks
Che.
exactly from tonight. Also, we want to mention congratulations to True.
Yes, that's right. He's going to be playing the WCS circuit instead.
That's right.
Definitely
he got
has
a
been-
visa, so he's going over there. Congratulations to
He's
him. We're gonna miss him.
participated
And
internationally a lot.
I think he's going to be a big powerhouse in that scene as well.
Oh, he's really good, man. He's, he made it into Code S with some great plays, so that'll be really fun. All right, we do have some sort of graphic to come up. So
Here it comes.
the
The results, of course. I guess we end that with every show.
Yeah, that's a pretty important one.
So, yeah, I mean, Mario Hulk smashing reality. We thought it was going to be close. It totally wasn't. Also, congratulations to our other players moving on. So here's the lineup that we have. 10 Terrans, 12 Protosses, and 9 Zergs.
Yeah, we have one more player that's going to qualify, so we don't know exactly how that ended up. And don't forget, it would have been 10 Zergs as well if True had not dropped out.
Yeah, that's right.
So a 10-12-10 is pretty sick,
Pretty
especially
damn
considering
close.
only Lucira stayed over. That many Zergs actually ended up qualifying. So that's pretty awesome, man. We always have really solid GSLs.
And look, we got a lot of very exciting people coming into this. Maru, MC, Dark, all these. I mean, if you look at who we've actually got, this should be just a fantastic season.
Yeah, there's like only innovations missing.
Yeah.
When you only have one guy missing,
we can't have them
let's
all.
do it.
Yeah.
We'll try to catch them all next season.
That's right. And this is going to be this year's last season of the GSL Code S. We'll have more action for you guys coming up
so
in 2017.
You got to make sure that you're watching that.
So be here for every game, watch every match, and I think that does it for us, man. Are we done?
Probably right.
Did we do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's just close it out. Guys, thanks so much for watching us. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We love you. Have a good night.